Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zelbo Tech, and WWDC 2023 is just 1 week away from today. We'll see iOS 17 and more. We have that to talk about, plus a lot of other things with iPhone 15 and much more. This is your news update for the week of May 29th, 2023. Now, Apple is said to be making their own modems going forward in the future. Apple made a major deal this past week with Broadcom to make 5G radio frequency and wireless connectivity components in the USA. Typically, Broadcom has manufactured Wi-Fi modems and much more, so that could mean better connectivity. Maybe they have something that's a little bit better than a Qualcomm. Apple had Intel, then they had Qualcomm. Hopefully they'll have their own modems that they're making with Broadcom. So we should see those probably in a couple years. Now, if you use an Apple Card, some are seeing a new promotion in the Wallet app to share up to $125 with your family. If you go into the Wallet app, you'll see at the bottom I currently have a promotion for Nike, but there was a promotion the other day and it linked me to a website. And on their website, you can get up to $125 of daily cash if you add a person. Each person gives you $25, up to 5 people, and you'll see it says when they spend $25 in their first 30 days. So this may not be available in all regions or countries, but it's available, and if you want to share with a different family member, you can do that now. And it's available up till WWDC. Now, if you use Apple Car Key or have been wanting to, and you're looking at the latest Mercedes is the next to offer support of Apple Car Key with the launch of the new E-Class sedan. According to Aaron P613 on Twitter, the code went live to allow this. So those of you that may be picking up one of those cars, these are already available for different cars such as Kia, Hyundai, as well as some BMWs, where you can just use your phone as the key. Without a separate app, you can use the Wallet app. So that's available now. Hopefully we'll see that with more cars and different vehicles in the future. Now, if you've been looking for a Gmail app that works well on Mac, there's an all-new one called MimeStream. This recently exited beta and is available now. This is from an Apple engineer named Neil Javeri, and you can try it for 14 days, and then there's an annual plan. It's been in beta for quite a while, and many that have tried it have said it's the best email client they've ever used for Gmail. I personally haven't used it myself, and I may be checking it out, but you'll see it actually uses Gmail's API and is supposedly very, very good. So if you've tried this out, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to try out this case that I have here in my videos usually, I've had this in quite a few different ones and people ask me what it is. This is a Caseku Magic Stand case, and today's video is sponsored by Caseku. This is the Caseku Magic Stand case. It comes in clear, space black, and there are new clear purple and clear black cases too. It's a protective case that adds grip and looks great, and it also has raised bezels around the screen and camera, but also has a hidden stand built in. The stand allows for a 40 to 120 degree angle and has a magnet in the ring of the stand that supports MagSafe accessories and charging. I'll link the case in the description along with a discount code so you can try it out. Now, Twitter is working on adding a major feature to its platform for video. Now, this is something that interests me as I'm posting video on YouTube like this video, and a recent post from the head of Twitter's product design has shared upcoming features for video with playback speed, captions, and more. So I'm curious if you'd actually use it. Would you prefer it maybe over YouTube or just use it maybe at the same time? I'm on many platforms all the time, but if it's another place to post videos that people watch, I'd definitely do that. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Now, as far as deals this week, well, the first one's not necessarily a deal, but Apple has begun offering the M2 Mac Mini refurbished on their website. Now, I've personally never hesitated to buy refurbished Macs or anything because they come with the same warranty. I've never seen any issues with them, and you can see here you'll get a little bit of a discount. So $90, $120 off, depending on which one you actually choose. So it's not a huge discount. Maybe you'll find a better deal sometimes on Amazon, sold directly by Apple, or something else. There's also some deals this week still that are carrying over from last week, and one of them is the Apple Pencil 2. It's $85 sold directly from Apple on their website on Amazon. So you can get this pretty inexpensively along with AirPods Pro 2, which are still down to $199. So if you've been wanting AirPods Pro 2, they shouldn't be releasing any new ones fairly soon. So this should be the latest. Maybe they'll have an AirPods 4 eventually, but the Pro 2 are pretty recent, so it's great to see them discounted. Also, iPad Pro 11-inch seems to be $50 to $100 off, and there's others as well. I'll link them in the description below. Just 1 week from today, we'll have WWDC 2023, or the Worldwide Developer Conference. We'll see all new software and hardware, and this actually starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on June 5th. Then there's the State of the Union, Apple Design Awards, sessions, labs, activities, and much more. And also, there's a new logo that's actually appeared on the live stream page. You'll see here from Basic Apple Guy, he actually recreated it in wallpapers. This is from the live stream, an all-new Apple logo that's been found. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that in the description. But we expect a lot of different things at WWDC. Now, initially, a few people applied for the Swift Student Challenge, and those people have started to receive their gifts. AirPods Pro 2, a sweatshirt, and some pins. And of course, they should be able to go to WWDC if they're able to as well. We'll see new software. Of course, we'll see iOS 17, watchOS 10, macOS 14, tvOS 14, HomePodOS 14, and maybe RealityOS or XROS. So we're expecting a lot of different things with new MacBook Airs, maybe a Mac Pro, and then of course that new VR headset or Reality Pro. So all of those things are expected. We'll talk a little bit more about a few of those things in just a moment. Now, of course, a week or so ago, we had iOS 16.5 and iOS 16.6 Beta 1. With iOS 16.5, there's been some issues with different adapters and some other issues, so maybe we'll see iOS 16.5.1. However, there's been no mention of it on different websites and different analytics yet. So it's possible we'll see it, but we don't know yet. However, that goes along with watchOS as well, as there's issues with green tint now for some users on watchOS 9.5. So hopefully Apple remedies this issue quite fast. We may not see those until iOS 16.6 or something else, but hopefully they get it done before then. Also, speaking of iOS 16.6, we expect Beta 2 this week. Typically, when Apple releases Beta 1, 2 weeks later, they'll release Beta 2. Now, they did release it on an odd day, which was Friday, so maybe we'll see it as soon as Tuesday or Wednesday, or it could be later in the week. Hopefully, it's back to Tuesday, as that's a little normal for Apple, and it wouldn't push it to the end of the week. But either way, I would expect it sometime this week, and of course, iOS 17 Beta 1 on June 5th, then with all of the new releases as well. So we'll have concurrent betas for quite some time, and then a final release typically of iOS 17 or the next versions of software, usually in September, just before the iPhone 15 launch. Now, according to Charger Labs, the iPhone 15 will not just support MagSafe, but will also support Qi wireless charging, but the new Qi 2 wireless charging standard, allowing for 15 watts of wireless charging without MagSafe. So you could use the MagSafe charger or just a Qi wireless compatible charger. And this is sort of a prototype model that I showed in a different video with rounded off edges of the iPhone 15, an action button, and a new volume rocker that's a little bit different. So many people thought we'd have haptic buttons, but it looks like we're just going to have a rocker of some sort. But overall, it looks similar, but does have nice rounded edges that go to flat sides. I wouldn't expect a SIM card tray in the US though, but still throughout the world. And to get ready for those iPhone 15s months away, Apple is now ramping up production to get millions ready to ship in September. This seems to be a little bit earlier than last year, so hopefully they'll have many more ready for those who want to pre-order them and buy them on launch day. So it looks like they're already starting to get the production lines running and get millions of them ready. So we could see that. And one thing I wanted to mention is it looks like Apple actually prototyped a version of MagSafe that was a different color than just silver. They decided to scrap this later on, as you can see here in this Twitter post, but basically they were going to have different color options, maybe just one, maybe many, but they decided to just stick with silver. I think silver's fine, but if they offer different ones, just like they do with some of the new cables, that'd be welcome. One thing I thought we'd hear a little bit later is what iPhone 16 would be like, but multiple sources are now saying Apple plans to introduce slightly larger displays on the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. That would be up from 6.1 to 6.3 inches on the Pro, from 6.7 to 6.9 inches on the Pro Max. This is actually backed up by multiple reliable sources such as Mark Gurman, Ming-Chi Kuo, Ross Young, and Unknowns21 on Twitter. You can also see what it would look like next to the iPhone 15 Pro Max according to recent CAD renders from 9to5Mac. So it gives you an idea of what the new screens could look like with a little bit larger display area, maybe a narrow phone as well. iPhone 16 models are also said to have vertical camera layouts instead of diagonal. So instead of the diagonal layouts that we have on the base models with the 14 and 14 Plus, and these are actually, again, one of the models of the 15, instead of having this diagonal layout, they would again switch to vertical to make room for maybe some more sensors or something different. So that's something we're hearing again from Unknowns21 on Twitter. This year's iPhone 15 Pro, though, is said to lack the periscope zoom camera and is instead said to be moving that to the Pro Max only. So instead of having a periscope zoom on the Pro, because they don't have the room apparently inside, they'd have it on the Pro Max this year, and then the Pro and Pro Max for the iPhone 16. That, I guess, makes sense, but it seems like something Apple would definitely do year over year. This is according to Shrimp Apple Pro on Twitter, who's reinforced this claim that next year's sensor will get an upgrade and they'll make everything a little bit bigger internally for the iPhone 16 with a slight redesign there. Apple makes incremental updates. It's hard to really innovate too much more because there's not a whole lot more to do with the phone as we're reaching maturity. But either way, we could see some slight changes this year on the Pro Max with the cameras, and then big changes next year for the Pro lineup in general. But either way, we'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes to the Mac, we're expecting a 15-inch MacBook Air at WWDC. We've heard this for quite some time, and there's more information showing that maybe we'll have even more Macs there that weren't expected. According to Mark Gurman, Apple will start allowing trade-in of 3 recent Macs towards the new products on June 5th, the day of WWDC. He said that Apple will allow for Mac Studio, M2 MacBook Airs like this one, and the M2 13-inch MacBook Pro to be traded in. Currently, you can't trade those in, so maybe we'll see some replacements for those. The 15-inch M2 MacBook Air, of course, maybe the Mac Pro finally, but there's been no news of iMac, but maybe an M2 Mac Studio with an M2 Ultra. We don't really know yet, but hopefully we see some sort of bumps in specs. I would love to see an iMac as well. And of course, we're waiting for Apple's Reality Pro headset. Many don't know what to expect, including myself. I'm not convinced yet until I see what they could do. Hopefully it's an iPhone moment where it's just a leap above everyone else. But last Monday, Apple actually filed even more trademarks for names relating to that new VR headset expected to be shown at WWDC. This time they actually trademarked XR Pro OS, Reality Pro OS, and Real OS. Apple is likely just covering their bases across multiple countries such as New Zealand and others where these trademarks were filed. So it looks like we're going to see something there, and Apple's also invited VR journalists to WWDC 2023 this year to watch the keynote. So we can expect something. We don't know exactly what it will have, but those that have actually used it have said it's quite impressive. At least a few people have sort of leaked that. Let me know what you're looking most forward to in the comments below. I'm looking forward, of course, to iOS 17 and to see what that headset's all about, and I would love to see what a new Mac Pro could do above maybe a Mac Studio. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and of course I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.